Hello, everyone. It's Friday, just afternoon, and I am coming to you from the church. Can you guess where I am? If you're a lady, you probably already have it and noticed that as soon as you pulled up this video. If you're a guy, you're probably still thinking about it. I'm coming to you and recording this from the church nursery, and there's a reason I'm doing that today. I'm doing that because I have some exciting news to share with all of you. I think this news is out there circulating around, but wanted to make sure that everybody knows what a blessing it is that we have 3 new little lives to be added to this nursery and to our church this year, Lord willing. That's Phil and Liana Chiaraluce. They're expecting, and that little life will be here soon. I think that's just late summer, if I'm not mistaken. In addition, we have Gil and Isabel Town, and just saw on Facebook that they're having a little girl. So I assume that's public knowledge since it was on Facebook. Of course, Isabel is in the Philippines still, and we're praying earnestly that the Lord would make a way for her to get back here soon. But we are anticipating that to be here in this nursery. And then Caleb and Jamie Paul. Jamie's expecting and just before the end of the year, and we look forward to that little life. And so here's 3 families, 3 new little lives, and we have the privilege of having them here in the nursery. And so we thank God for this and look forward to that. It's one way to build a church, right? Secondly, I want to thank all the ladies that do all the work back here in the nursery. I'm looking around at this room and thinking, you put me in here for hour and a half with 1-2 babies. That's going to test my sanctification. In fact, that's a test I'm not going to do well at. I can tell you that right now. But I am so thankful for the ladies that faithfully serve back here and do so that we can sit uninterrupted in our services and focus on the Lord and on His truth. And so I'm so thankful for all the hard work that goes in here and the work that these ladies do, from the directors to all those laboring back here, our young ladies. So thank you very much for what you do. I'm looking at this room and thinking the new room over in the new church building is at least twice, maybe 3 times this size. So that will be a great blessing, I know, and I'm certain that will be a joy for you, and rightfully so. So we're thankful for that provision from the Lord. Well, let me just share a brief encouragement with you to conclude your week with here. I was thinking this week of all the news that we get about the virus, the economy. I don't know how you get your news, through the internet or on the television, but every time you open up the news, it's just the facts of here's what's happened, and here's what's happened, and here's what's going on, and that can be very disheartening. And I was thinking of reports of news in the Scripture, and we have such a report all the way back in the book of Numbers. You may recall when God's people were getting ready to cross the Jordan and go into the land of Canaan, they sent spies to spy out the land to see what it was like and what they were going to get into. And those spies brought back a report. And the Scripture records that of the 12 spies, 10 of them gave an evil report. What was the nature of that report? Well, the report was accurate. They said there's bounty in the land, it's a wonderful place, but there are giants in the land, and there are walled cities, very well fortified. And then they saw those facts, and they also relayed that our children will be prey for them, that this is going to be bad. There's no way that we can go in and can conquer these things. We are really at a disadvantage. But you may recall that there were 2 other men who agreed with that report, that there was the same news. Yes, there are giants. Yes, there are fortified walls. But their perspective was entirely different. Their perspective was that God was able to help them conquer this land, just like He'd said. So when you hear the news, I want you to know that you are getting the report of the 10 spies. These are people that do not factor God into the equation. They're not considering God's providence in the world or His sovereignty over all things. And they're just giving you the facts, and those facts are often bleak and they can be dark. And it really can affect our spirit. And if we're not careful, we will let those facts draw us into a depression or a fear. But the scripture says of those other two men, we know them, Joshua and Caleb. Listen what the scripture says about their understanding of the facts and how they embraced it. We're told in Numbers 14 and verse 24, God says this, "But my servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit and has followed me fully, I will bring him into the land." Caleb had a different spirit than those other spies. What was his spirit? He viewed those things, not just the facts, but he viewed them with the eye of faith. That God was in control of those facts. That God was greater than those adversaries. And that God certainly would work mightily on behalf of his people. So may we be like Caleb at this time when all these facts are about and people are viewing what looks bleak on the horizon, that we would have a different spirit and we would view God in all of this and not leave him out of the equation. And that would give us hope, it would give us courage, and that we might even be seen to have a different spirit about us, because that would be a way to honor him and glorify him even at this present time. Hope that's a blessing to you, and think of that this week. God bless you, and have a great day.